Hi, I am Nika Harper. I am an author and I would love to share with you a story that I wrote. It's called Of the Heavens. They said it would be a cold day in hell. Nobody mentioned New York yet. The city was white and bitter, in opposition to its normal multicolored bitterness. It looked like the weather was cleaning a house by painting over the imperfections in thick white paint. It was a good day to be inside, but a bad day to be him. The city was stuck indoors today, the frosty fallout whipping through the streets and dissuading pedestrians. If work could be done with coffee from an armchair, this was the day for it. There was no expectation otherwise. It had been the talk of the townies. Businesses reluctantly opened their doors and kept them as tightly closed as possible, the chill still sneaking in amongst their empty tables and cutlery, setting on their cigarette packs and weazened produce. The city goes on, but leaner. Stuck. It was nothing new for him. The window overlooking the city couldn't keep out the penetrating chill. Double panes of glass trying with all their might. He heard restless footsteps in the other rooms around his. Travelers kept indoors or scrambled to make custom plans. The snow was a deep inconvenience to them, a reason not to go outside or inability to return home. He had seen it many times and failed to care. Traveling. What a relief that would be. Imagine every flight being canceled. Imagine always being on the standby list and never getting called. His domain was tidy and neat, the hotel room that time forgot. It was easy to forget him, a quiet, patient sort. He thought after the second year they might notice him, try to recall his name, ask him what kind of cookies he likes best when they delivered to his room. It was like clockwork. Every day was new and wound back, and it was never quite time to check out. Time marches on, but it looks resolutely past the wounded on the edges. He didn't consider himself wounded, exactly, but he wondered if everyone else did. If hotel service maids couldn't remember his face, would his associates feel the same? The problem with having direct orders is that there wasn't an option of disobeying. He couldn't leave. He physically and metaphysically could not leave. So what if he started a blog? Sampled all the drinks and food around the city. Stealthily added ghost pepper oil to diners' dishes while the waiters didn't look. Raised children's mischief hell. Discovered a knack for arson. Just anything. His instructions were to wait, and he was good at it. He dressed cleanly at all hours, ready at a moment's notice to see the hat and coat and distinctive shabbiness of the master. It was unmistakable, from another time and plane, and he never felt excited or hopeful as he walked the streets. The meeting would not be something he might avoid noticing. It would find him, if anyone remembered him at all. So he waited and avoided trouble or new skills. He searched out associates and considered adopting their skill sets to fit in with the field. They were a disorganized bunch with little true hierarchy, so no information was passed around. It was every creature for himself, every order on its own. The dogs sometimes knew some things, but they were reticent to tell much, the taste of punishment forever staining their mouths. He wondered if it would be nice to be a dog, perhaps. He wondered if people thought that the life he was living, of aimless, costless existence in a bustling world, was also worthy of envy. He wondered a lot of things, and kept his suits very clean. Snow was blasting past the windows, troubling the shop owners, canceling every plan. The flakes were wide and unrelenting, clumps of grim whiteness that matched the white of his clenched knuckles. Merely an inconvenience to the world. But he knew it was something different. It came from everywhere, hitting his window with a gentle hiss and dripping down, mingling clear blood with poured sweat. He watched them trickle and settle on the glass, holding his hand out the window to remember how it felt. The cold, sharp taste of angel tears and ruin. It must be them up there. It must be his kind, and from the look of it, they were winning. The war was on, and he was forgotten, forbidden from joining anything at all. He was trapped in a city, only able to see hints of success, knowing he contributed nothing. The day passed by with sounds of sirens, creaking walls, the blast of a heating unit. The door remained closed, and he stayed alone, his dark eyes watching the snow pour down and looking for anything new. His tie was perfectly straight. Snow fell in feather flurries from the heavens. His lips tasted of devil's tears now, too. Thank you so much for listening. That was Of the Heavens. You can read that on my Tumblr, which is nikaharper.tumblr.com. It's one of these places. And this was something that I wrote when I was actually in New York, actually during a snowstorm, and it reminded me of feathers. That's all. You can support the writing that I do on Patreon, and I really can't thank everyone enough for helping me be an independent author and helping me create, be brave enough to create. It's a very brave thing, and your help helps me just so much. Thank you. Of course, I'd love to hear what you think, whether in the comments or on social media, or just say hi or tell me if you liked this. I'd like to know. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed it.